Good morning, good afternoon, good evening traders. No doubt there's traders all around the world watching this video. Welcome to session 154 today. In today's session you're going to be able to watch a recorded trading session of where I was trading the ES2 tick Renko. Now what I teach you in these sessions and in my classes, you can apply to any market, any time frame, any chart type, and any platform. And just what I think of it, for those that decide to actually come on board as a member, and I'll give you a very quick advertisement and I'll show you why you want to join me very soon. You can apply what I teach to virtually any good trading platform. So if I haven't coded the indicators for your individual platform, I give you the settings, the lengths, etc., the custom settings that I use on all of my indicators, so you can replicate what I do on basically any trading platform. Now if $1,000 a day is not enough for you, you can simply add contracts to it, of course, or you can trade even over a longer period of time. That is, you'll notice that most of my trading sessions are well and truly under an hour. I'm age 66. I want to get in, get out, get paid. That suits me. For the young guns, I'll show you a slide in a moment, you might choose to trade 3 or 4 hours. Okay, but we'll look at more of that in a moment. As always traders, there is a risk in trading. Please don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose. Most good trading platforms today allow you to trade on the simulator until you're ready to go live. Now what I'll do, so we're not distracted, I'll turn off the camera for now so we can stay focused on the slides. Now for the young guns watching this, you can, on the ES, realistically you can target 500 to 800 a day per contract if you're willing to put the time and effort into it. Now when trading the ES, and my target will vary. For an example, gold, I'll target on average 500 a day because I'm trading a higher time frame and I have a greater amount of capital required to trade that market, so I go for a higher target. Now when trading the ES, typically I'm targeting 200 to 400. Okay, it just depends on the time frame I'm trading. Like if I can, I love trading the 1 tick. Yep, you heard that right, 1 tick Renko. I just really like that, but you can't trade that during New York hours. So I just want you also to emphasize that the time frame you trade will be dependent on the time of day you're trading. Now you'll get to see how I scalp and day trade the futures markets. This is not rocket science. You don't need to be a perfect trader, but what is important is you realize that consistency beats genius. And there's a famous trader from the Turtles called Richard Dennis, and he was once interviewed by a journalist, and he was asked about how he shares his trading rules with, he called them his turtles, other traders that he was training. And as he said, I always say you could publish rules in a newspaper and no one would follow them. The key is consistency and discipline. Okay, now Dennis actually borrowed 1,600 from his father and turned it into over 200 million in around 10 years time. Now traders, this is the 20th of March that I'm recording this, so we've got the war raging over there in the Middle East at the moment. There's never been a better time to master the art of day trading. And I won't throw scalping in because you'll see quite often I'm only in a trade sometimes 30 seconds to a minute or two. Now if you like what I show you, and you will, I'll show you very quickly how you can join me along with hundreds of other day traders around the world in my live coaching sessions and live trading room. But once again, watch my videos and look at the results I'm achieving. Now this is today's session. Now just so you know, this is a recorded session from Friday the 13th, 1 week ago. I'm always running behind and getting these sessions, and just note here in the recording I keep referring to this level, okay, and you'll see that I think it's in this one 99%, and then we get there. Now as I mentioned, POQ, I want to get in, get out. So on 10 contracts, I want to hit 3,250 and finish for the day. And usually you'll see, like here, that was less than 10 minutes of trading. Okay, and we'll look at these live so you'll be able to see me enter the trades and whatever, and I'll explain them when I get there. And as I mentioned, there were and traders will say, why don't you keep going? Well, I'm 66, I want to just finish, you know, that just suits me fine. Now today's trading, so Friday the 20th, this, and we'll look at it on the chart so you can see it's, as we say in Australia, rigidage. Okay, this is, and I did record that I'll do another training session on this one. It'll probably take me a week to get around it, because as you're about to see, I've got videos to do virtually every day. Okay, so this one here, we ended up, where was that? Okay, 3,900. Now with this one, 11 trades, and I had one loss, okay, because I lost focus and I broke a golden rule, which if we get a chance we'll talk about that. The day before, that was yesterday, Thursday's trading, 39, another day of 39, so that was 39,995. This one here, how many trades? By the way, I think that's 8 trades. When you're a scalper and day trader, in a day or two you soon forget what you were trading a couple of days before. And on Wednesday, the day before that, that was a 3-6 day, and I could just go on and on. But what you're going to see is consistency with the types of setups that I trade. Now I want to get to something, an offer I've never made directly to YouTube members before. Now before I get to it, and I'll try to be very quick with this, but first of all, if you haven't downloaded my ebook, click on the description link below. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Better still, why don't you come and join me as a member? And very quickly, all of my videos, there's hundreds of videos in my training. There's over 35 PowerPoints. I've got coded indicators for TradeStation, NinjaTrader 8, NinjaTrader 7. And if I haven't completed all of the indicators, I give you the settings so you can actually set up my charts, basically replicate what I do on any good trading platform. So it doesn't matter what you're using, which trading platform. There are 2 areas. So for $2.97 you get access to both of these platforms, and I would say this is probably the world's most, and I'm serious here, the world's most comprehensive day trading site for serious scalpers and day traders. There's dozens of trading strategies, indicators, there's divergence, there's charts, there's video. Look, I could go on and on, which I don't want to do, and you get that for only $2.97. Lifetime access, includes all of my upgrades, and on top of that you can attend 8 of my live sessions. That is 16 hours of group private coaching, and if you can't make the live sessions, they're 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch the recordings and you've got lifetime access to those. Now this is something I've never offered for directly to YouTubers, and that is for those watching YouTube, I should say. For a further $100 you can upgrade to a 12-month program whereby you get, of course, what I've just covered for $2.97, just taken some screenshots, no fancy PowerPoints here, and you can also attend for a year 96 live and recorded training sessions over a year. If you go to my website, it's $197 a month, but on top of that, so there's 8 sessions a month. On top of that, you can attend 12 months of my live trading room sessions. There are 3 sessions a week that go for 3 hours. In total, traders, that's 244 sessions for an extra that are live. You can type in questions, you're watching, I'm explaining step by step for a year. Now I have at the moment in the coaching program 315 members in the live. Now this is active traders, and in the live trading room I've got 287 attend. It's now in the thousands of people have invested and purchased my course, but those are that attend the sessions. Now I won't get into all of this because this is, I want to get to the live trading session. This is meant to be educational, but you need to see this. For years now I've been running these coaching sessions, and in each month, so you can see here for an example, March 2026, and each session's got its own module. And within there, if I was to click on that, you'd see there's handouts, there's PowerPoints, NTA, there's anything important docs to review. Members are sending ideas and they're researching. Also, if you're a prop trader, I've got dozens of members that are trading with, if you don't have your own capital, prop trading, gold, all different markets that I'm talking about, trading. You've got those. Then you've got the 12 live sessions a week. Sorry, I'm rushing. 3 2-hour sessions a week. We run those from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. 2 weeks a month, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And alternative weeks, 2 weeks a month, we do 8:30 to 10:30 in the evening after the coaching sessions. Now you can get all, and I'm not even going to go through the testimonials and whatever, but all of that for only $3.97. It works out to be $1.66, including the Day Traders Fast Track program, which you have lifetime access to, as well as the recordings. Come and join me. You'll find the link in the description link. Okay, let's get into this, because I want to give you some real skills and trading ideas here today. Now, first of all, a lot of traders don't like to hear what I have to say. My job is to keep you in this business as your coach, pull no punches, give you no BS. If you want to start trading, unless you're trading with a prop firm, as I mentioned, we've got a lot of members. If you start on the micro ES, you need $625. I know your broker will tell you you only need $100 or $200. However, we are risk managers. We never risk any more than 2% in a trade. Now here, that figure is actually wrong. If we go for, I think it's $32 a day, in 12 weeks, and I'm going to show you how you do this. In 12 weeks, your account potential, I've got it legal, I've got to say potentially, is now 6,300. Where we can roll over, where we need 6,250 is required. Now, we can see here just the compound effect here is incredible. So you can also download my spreadsheet here and a training video I've got with it. Now, if you go for $32 a day, and how my spreadsheets work, you only start adding or trading an additional contract when you double your money, and you get another 630 and you can start trading 3. Remember, we're risk managers. We want to be in this business long term. Now over here, if you go for, actually it's $313 a day, here I go for $325 as a minimum. It's only 26 ticks a day. Within 11 weeks, you've got a potential of, well, there it's basically $12,000 a week. Your account is now $56,000. That is the true potential, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, I'm not even, because we're going to run out of time, and I try to keep these under 30 minutes. I won't even get into what if you only make it $15 a day. Okay, you still get wealthy. Now, here's what the issue is. People are greedy. They want to get rich quick. Well, get rich slowly as a day trader. Traders, where you end up with in 6 months time depends on the action you take today. Time's going to pass anyway. Why not do it correctly? Don't go and continually blow your accounts. Let me teach you how to trade. So as we're about to go to the live recording, what we want to ideally be doing is trading with the trend. Now I point out I do counter trend trade, as you'll see. Well, actually in this video I think they're all trend trades, but usually you'll see me fire off and take CT trades. But I've been day trading now for 28 years, so I've got a fair bit of experience, probably tens of thousands of hours under my belt. And up here we'll then get divergence trades and other trades we call T3 snapbacks, etc. But we want to be trading with the trend. The other thing which is going to make you a lot of money is learning how to trade into pivots, open, high, low and close areas, 89, 200 and the 600 EMA. Now with these traders, For a brand new trade, if you're brand new, as I mentioned, this ain't rocket science. You can pick this up, and now with all good modern trading platforms, all of these plot automatically on your chart. There's no, oh, where's that level? There's no guessing, there's no drawing of trend lines. You can do that if you wish, but there's no need to. These will plot automatically. So let's get to the charts, and in this case, let's get to the recording, and I'm going to play this back. Now when I'm trading, I don't talk, okay, so I'm just going to give you running commentary here, because I'll just hit record. I might type a few things in, and where I make my biggest mistakes is if I'm multitasking. Traders, you've got to be disciplined and patient and focused, okay? And by the way, if I stuff up a trade, I'll tell you about it. It's like in the live trading room, I'll tell everyone about it. My ego is not that big that, you know, I want to hide it. It's important that if I make a mistake, that you know why I made it, so you can learn from it. Now on this chart, you had, we call that a T3. These are all legitimate setups on the way down here. See the arrows? You're in the next candle. You've got the opportunity to get in on the next one. So what I have here is discovered a strategy where it gets me in very quickly after a retracement. See how I've got that white line there? This plots automatically, and you can enter here. It keeps you out of any potential losses there. We're still going to have losses, of course. We want to stay out of choppy markets, and as you can see, well, you can't see it here yet, but I trade 10 contracts. That's my target each day. Now this is the best sort of trading conditions you can get. We've got a beautiful downtrend, you can have a beautiful uptrend. Let me now play this. So this goes for 8 minutes. We might jump ahead at times. So what I've done here, I've gone short. This is where I'm selling right at the low of day here, and not too far down below I do have a pivot. Okay, so I want to get through, but it can be slightly high risk when we sell at the low or the high of day, because there's no guarantee, of course, we're going to get through that level. Now I've got a 10 tick stop loss. Now that's $125 per contract. Now here I could have tightened my stop. Generally I'll have my stop loss 1 tick above. That is, if I entered there, I'd pull my stop down so it's just above, or I'd have my stop just at these lows just here. Okay, so here I'm short. I'm targeting my pivot down here. Generally once I'm in the money, 6 to 8 ticks, I'll usually go to break even. Now with all good trading platforms now, it can do that automatically for you. Okay, so when we hit a certain target, I generally manage my, not my stop. I always have my hard stop in. That's absolutely critical, but I'll usually manage my stop. Now see what I'm doing there? That is that level that I'm ultimately targeting, that slide I showed you, and we got there about half an hour after. So there we've just been filled. So about half an hour after, might have been even quicker after I finished the recording. Now just note here, we're now at the pivot. Now your best reversal trades, not saying we're going to reverse here by the way, your best reversal or divergence trades are off pivots. So here we're coming down, and I'll be thinking, so here I'm taking this as a slingshot trade. Okay, so I've taken a slingshot at the low of day once again. Now in today's session I actually had 3 out of 3, and if you're trading consistently, it's pretty, you know, very high probability when you're trading with the trend. Now here's this pivot down below. Now there's no guarantee you're going to hit your pivot, by the way. You've got to be very careful you don't fall in love with an area, because there's no guarantee. Now note here, I haven't moved my stop. Now let me pause this for a moment. A fatal mistake that so many traders make is they hope the market will reverse. So instead of having a hard stop, you might have a trading plan or a strategy where within your plan it moves and it works for you. But with hundreds of traders now I've trained, it's actually in thousands and hundreds that I work with, I see it all the time where, oh Ray, I've blown my account because I've moved my stop. Hoping traders, there's no room for hope in this business. Okay, so a stop is a stop. Now here we're fully oversold, so this is great. Now there's no such term as being fully oversold. George Lane, who created the stochastics, he had to put a figure in there because it could go to infinity. The market could keep falling, of course. It's a bit of an exaggeration, not infinity, but I think you get the trend. We can just keep trending down. Okay, but look at that trend. If you're a pure price action trader, look at the EMAs just heading down here. Beautiful. Now where I will also go, so generally my target's going to be 8 to 10 ticks as a scalper. Okay, remember my strategy: get in, get out. Okay, I'm not after home runs. I want to just get on base. Now here I am pointing this out again. Now that's still quite some distance from my target here down. So what I'll usually do is not target such a deep. Now notice here I'm going to break even because I don't want to give all of this back now. Okay, all right, so now we're coming down. I'm dragging, basically trailing here, and I'm out of that trade now. Okay, because there's no guarantee, and I can't remember, maybe we do keep going. No, see, we're starting to turn. That's with the ES, that's a long way to go in one move. Okay, so now we're pulling back, and now I'll be looking for another entry. Now the further we get into a trend, by the way, that's where we then start to get a little suspicious. That is the shallow pullbacks. This is still one, but the further into a trend, I'll then look for deeper retracements before I take a trade. It's okay earlier in a trend, but the greater number of waves you have, the more likely you are to have a retracement. Okay, so now let me just point out what I did there. What I've done there, remember I mentioned earlier about the trade I took today where I got stopped, I wasn't focused. What I'm looking for also is something on my higher time frame. I call it the anchor chart to tell me when to enter the trade. The boo-boo I made today was is that I didn't wait for that. In fact, let me just let me just show you this. Let me just go back to this. I don't think I bought, no I haven't bought this up, but let me just show. I think it's important you see this. So this is today, so this is Friday the 20th, by the way. So if we just go back to earlier in the day, here it is, just here. Okay, so here is an example. So some beautiful trading. Here's a reversal T3, by the way. I call this, entered a trade, then I jumped in this trade and I got stopped on that one. No, maybe it wasn't, was it? Sorry everyone if I'm a bit all over the place. I don't okay, it must have been the day before. I thought it was well, never mind. By the way, my videos are raw, real and unedited, so it's important. It's good you see this anyway. But so I had a beautiful trade there, a momentum trade, reversal, another trade, and then I took this one and got stopped. And this is I call these BTFs, bet the farm. These are generally great setups, but I got stopped on it. And this is, that's trading. Then I had 3B, jumped in this one a bit early, jumped out. Goes to this is today's 8 light, so it must have been the day before. Look, it doesn't matter, but the key thing here is what I failed to do. Here's my anchor chart. Now I've got 6 screens in. Look, I recommend you have at least 2. So there's some things that I'm looking for on my higher time frame to confirm a trade, and I didn't do it on this particular loss. Must have been the day before. I did mention to you, didn't I, that 24 hours is a long time when you're a day trader. It really is. So let's go back to this one. and I'm sorry about that. Let's just do this here. By the way, did I tell you that I love trading? It's I really do. And everything I'm doing here is based, and this is so important, you know this, everything I trade is a pattern. They're all patterns. That's it just gives me, so I've got the indicators which give me the pattern. And as I mentioned, you can basically set this up on virtually any trading platform. I've coded, if you're on NT8, the arrows plot automatically. The white paint bars, see the white paint bars, it's another secondary entry you can follow, but I do give you the secret sauce to all of the indicators that I use. Now just here, once again here traders, I'm targeting below the pivot. Now the pivot in this case, sorry, is the low of day. I call those pivots as well as floor pivots. See up here you've got yesterday's low. I call that a pivot because they act as price magnets. I call this a pivot, which it is. That's a floor pivot. Then I've got oh, this is a recording so I can't show you. I was going to drag it and just show you the Camarilla pivots. Now when we hit the low of day or high of day, see how we keep stair stepping down. So that is why even in a trendy market I will keep selling, because we'll quite often get through by 3, 4, 10 ticks. So I'll keep selling at the low or the high of day in a trending market. Now here I've got a maximum stop of 10 ticks. So I mentioned I'm usually after 10 ticks 1 to 1. Now some traders say 1 to 1, let's go for 3 to, you know, that's crazy. Not if you've got an 80 to 90% win-loss ratio, traders. Okay, I just want to get in and get out. Now where I will go, and I started to just pause this for a sec, started to say this before, I will go for a larger target if I'm buying into a higher time, sorry, if I'm buying into a pivot and both my entry chart and higher time frame are trending strongly. That's when I then will go for a larger target. Now note where my stop is. Note here I'm not fiddling with the stop. That is, it looked like I might have been about to get, what did I do then? I might have just been ready. Okay, so what I'm doing there is I was thinking, okay, do I bring my stop down? Because if I keep getting, because there I've got another trade entry. So if I get other trade entries, you can actually, as you're further in the trend, you can bring your stop down with those. So I'll just move this along a little bit more so we can see here. So just once again I've got a 10 tick target, and now did I just pull my target up? Let me just see what I did there. Yes, okay, let me explain what I've done doing just here. If on the dome my matrix on my HTML, I can see I've nearly hit my target for the day. When I'm at the low of day or high of day, I'll just trail and get out. Once again, if I'm at my target, I'll, you know, I can't remember what I hit that day. What do we get? That doesn't matter anyway. We'll see in a moment. So I'll sometimes go to break even earlier or cut the trade earlier and just take it and run. Just get on base, which is what I've done right there. Now you'll see in, do we see in a moment, see how we then, no actually, and see what happened. We only came down a few more ticks in that particular case, and then we rebounded. And by the way, that would have been a loss just there for me. But then we had a bet the farm, and then we had another trade, and see that there once again, that is my ultimate target. So we're coming down to that target. And so further along, I think if I go back to that PowerPoint, you probably saw up there that I pointed this out, and then eventually we got down there. It was actually the next trade. Now do I have losses? Of course, as I mentioned, that would have been a trade for me and I got stopped, but that was a plain vanilla bet the farm. So was this one was just a plain vanilla entry, and so was that one, all for good 10, or good for 10 plus ticks. Now you can apply this and trade these strategies from any time after 6 p.m. in the evening right through to New York. I prefer the after hours one. I'm down under, and in Australia here. So this is 2 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is about 6 p.m. I think it's 5 or 6 p.m. my time, which really suits me. It's just before the London Open. The London Open at the moment is 3 a.m. Central Standard Time, but from 6 p.m. Eastern you've got great trading opportunities with these markets. So you can trade any market, whether it be futures, forex, stocks, as I mentioned. Why don't you come and join me? You have two options, traders. You can, where I've got literally dozens of training videos and live sessions recorded, 35 PowerPoints, and you've already seen, well, I've shown you at least on the outside all of these, you know, everything from exits, chart types for new traders. And if you're brand new, I do have included in it, and I've included this one here, is if you're a brand new trader, never traded before. There's a lot more basic information, then we get into the serious trading. But the whole concept of the live trading room and the coaching room is where I'm explaining to you step by step how to trade, where to get in, where to get out, the right risk management, money management, the psychology of trading, and much more. Traders, I could put up testimonials. You probably wouldn't believe half of them. You know, like I had one today. No, look, I'm not even going to talk about it because look, come and join me. Come and join hundreds of other traders. You can type in questions, ask questions, and why 12 months? Traders, you just don't go and read a book on how to play the piano, or a book on how to swim, or even for most people how to drive a motor vehicle. You need a coach, and that's what I do. I'm an active day trader. I trade virtually every single day. And what does that mean to you? I'm in the markets explaining all of this to you step by step. Okay, traders, thank you. Come and join me as a member. Make sure you've subscribed also, and there's some goodies there in the description link below. Thank you, traders. See you in the next video. Better still, see you in one of my sessions.